Today I will talk about what my first meeting with my surgeon was like. Hi, welcome. My name is Tina and I had traditional duodenal switch surgery on June 9th of 2020. I will put all of my statistics, my starting weight, all that stuff in the Dropbox below if you'd like to see those numbers. But today I'm going to talk a little bit about that anyway because I was looking around at my calendar on my phone, where I keep all of my appointments and all my dates on my phone, and I was looking for, because I've referred back to the first day that I met with Dr. Srikanth and what my weight was that day several times, but I always get confused about what exactly that date was. And so I was looking around, because part of the reason is that on my calendar I have doctor appointment diet, and when I started meeting with Dr. Srikanth, I had a series, because of my insurance, they expect a certain amount of diet visits and a certain amount of nutrition visits. And so on my calendar it would say Dr. Diet or Dr. Nutrition. And so for some reason I just kept looking at those dates and thinking those were the dates that I met with the surgeon the first time. But what I went back and looked at is that I put the first meeting with Dr. Srikanth it was February 19th of 2020. So it's been a year since then. And I'm excited about that, and just really want to share a little bit about what was going on that day. I know a lot of people that watch my channel are in different phases of perhaps looking into duodenal switch surgery or different types of surgery or revisions or whatever it is. And so I've talked a little bit about, the process that I had to go through on my channel, but those videos were a really, really long time ago, and so I just kind of want to talk about it again. So the first time I went with Dr. Srikanth, I had made what happened was I got new insurance on the first of the year. So January 1st of 2020, I started a new insurance plan, and I became enrolled with Aetna, and I get that through my husband's job, and I had never had Aetna insurance before. And at the time I was thinking, because I had lost a whole bunch of weight the previous year, so I got down to 242, and I was pretty excited about that. And then it was starting to creep up again, and I knew that it was, and I was starting to feel really out of control again. I have a really long history of losing and gaining weight in my life, so it's just kind of what I do. Excuse me, I've got a fuzzy. A cat. We have cats. We have a cat. Anyway, so I thought I would just check and look and see if that my new insurance would cover weight loss surgery, and I found out that it did. And I called Aetna customer service and was asking specifics about my insurance plan and what it would cover. And they told me that it had to be, it did cover weight loss surgery, but it couldn't just be any doctor. It had to be a center of excellence. So I didn't have any idea what that meant. But they had a list of doctors that I could go to. And I live in Tacoma, Washington, and I'm about probably half an hour, on a good traffic day, I'm a half hour to Federal Way, Washington, and I kind of grew up off and on in Federal Way, so I knew that area really well. And I saw a doctor in Federal Way that was in one of the Centers of Excellence doctors, the Center for Weight Loss Surgery in Federal Way, Washington. And so I called them and made an appointment, and they looked at my insurance and they told me that I was covered and I had great insurance, and they said before the appointment, they gave me instructions, and so they said, make sure you come and my appointment was like 7 o'clock in the morning, because I always make appointments really early. They said, make sure that you eat breakfast and make sure you're on a full stomach. And so at that time I didn't usually eat in the morning. I would always have dinner with my husband and we eat it in the evening. And so I didn't really eat breakfast, and then we were almost to the doctor's office that morning, and we were early because it's just kind of how we roll. And there was a Taco Bell on the way to Dr. Srikanth's office, and my husband, I said, let's just stop and get breakfast. And because I remember I used to like the breakfast burritos at Taco Bell, and that the whole thought of that just grosses me out really bad right now. But anyway, so we went through the drive-thru. We got some burritos, got some little tater tot, whatever those are. Had a big breakfast. I felt sick. I drank a bunch of, I think I probably drank a Diet Coke, and I got really, really full. And we went to meet Dr. Srikanth. My husband went with me because he wanted to find out what exactly was going to be involved as well. So we went in and met the staff there, and they weighed me immediately. And my weight at that time was 282 pounds. And again, I had just had a huge, huge meal, and I was feeling very bloated and very grossed out with myself and whatever, but I weighed at 282, and met with Dr. Srikanth, and I told them the reason I had gone in there is because I was interested in getting the sleeve surgery, and the reason for that is because I know people that have had sleeve surgery, and they've had good results, and it just seemed like it was pretty common, and that's why I went in to see him. And so in talking to Dr. Srikanth about what I was looking for, he asked me my history with dieting, and so I went into that, and I have a really long history with dieting. I've been on a diet I don't remember not being on a diet, and I'm 52 years old now, and I've been dieting for at least 40 years. I know I was dieting when I was 12. I think I was probably dieting before then. So 40 years of on and off dieting. And how it goes with a lot of people is that when you're dieting, you lose a bunch of weight and then you gain it all back, and then you gain back more than you lost in the first, more than your start weight was. And that's how my life was. I had gotten a high weight ever, which was probably in my mid-20s. After I had children, my highest weight ever was 340 pounds, and I got down to. I just went up and down so many times. It's hard for me to even say, but I know when I met my husband, I weighed 240 something, 200, no. I weighed about 210 when I met my husband, and I met him in 2020. So, that's, my weight has just gone up and up and down, and it's just kind of just been my life. So anyway, I was telling him that, and he said, well, have you considered, there's other topics of surgeries, and he went over the sleeve, because that's what I originally asked about. He went over the RNY surgery. He went over duodenal switch surgery. I had never heard of that before. So he went into detail about that, and then he told me that because of my continuous weight loss, weight gain, it was probably the best option for me, because the day that I met him, I was 282 pounds, but my high weight is 340 pounds. So I'm already almost 60 pounds less than my high weight. And he said it would be really hard for you to get much lower than 220 with the sleeve, because you've already lost a bunch of weight. The way your body looks at it, you have a certain percentage that you're going to lose from your high weight, which didn't really make a whole lot of sense to me at the time, but I thought about it a little bit, and he explained it a little bit more, and I talked about RNY a little bit, or gastric bypass, and kind of said the same thing. He said you might lose a little bit more than the sleeve with gastric bypass, but you still are going to probably not get much below 200 pounds. And I don't want to go through weight loss surgery and weigh 200 pounds, because I think you're still overweight, you're still obese at that point, and I want to do this to be healthy. And so he said, well, the best option for you is the duodenal switch surgery. And he said you could definitely get at least down to 150 pounds. My goal weight for you would be 130 pounds, which is great. I love that idea. And so anyway, that started the whole process for me. And 2 days later, I had an appointment with the diet doctor, and the nutritionist doctor, and at the time that was a different person. I'm currently working with Carly, but there was a different lady, Kristen I think her name was, and she talked about having a bunch of labs run. So that's when I did my first labs. And then they went over all of that and what I needed. And then like the next week, I started on the crazy vitamin regimen. So that started pretty early on. And, you know, everything just kind of started from that point. My life changed so dramatically and so drastically since then. I have so much energy. I feel so much better. My body is working so much better. I can breathe better, I can move better, I can get around better. It doesn't take every ounce of energy that I have to just go to the store and pick something up. We live in a townhouse, and so we have stairs. I'm not winded, or I don't put off going upstairs because I used to bring everything downstairs that I would need for the whole day because I didn't want to make a trip upstairs until it was time for bed. I mean, that sounds pretty dramatic, but I just kind of tried to avoid the stairs. I have multiple sclerosis, and my multiple sclerosis has been a lot better. I still have symptoms, I still have issues, but it's nowhere near as bad as it had been. And so just incredible, incredible life-changing year for me. And I'm so grateful, and I'm so happy about it. And the other thing that's cool is that I started a YouTube channel, which I would have never ever thought I would do. I'm definitely not that kind of person, but I did it anyway, and I'm still talking to you guys, and I just appreciate the community that we've created together. It's been really fun for me, and I just love to look back at my first video and see, you know, I can tell my face is smaller and my shoulders are smaller, and my shoulder bones are easier to see, and I don't know, it's just kind of cool. So anyway, I just wanted to share it was just really cool for me to realize that it's been a year since I first met Dr. Srikanth, and I just wanted to share how much that meant to me, and how excited I am about that, one of my milestones. So anyway, I hope you have a great day. Thank you so much for watching my video. I will be back on Wednesday, and thank you. Bye.